AJ Delgado has got to be one of the dumbest broads out there, okay? Now, I'm going to give her a little credit because she does, from point in time to point in time, make some half-ass relevant comments. But you cannot have a civil discussion with this broad because she can't stay on the subject you're trying to discuss. Here she goes again, defending that neo-Nazi Donald Trump.
You know, to just be grossly generalistic, you could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
Now, Clinton absolutely fucked up when she said half. Now, if she had just said some, she would have been fine.
The Trump campaign clearly thinks it hit the jackpot with Hillary Clinton's now infamous comment about Donald Trump's, quote, basket of deplorables, using it in a brand new attack ad just like a conventional campaign would do.
Speaking to wealthy donors, Hillary Clinton called tens of millions of Americans deplorable. People like you, and you. Deplorable. You know what's deplorable? Hillary Clinton viciously demonizing hard-working people like you.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Now, if you are a racist, a xenophobe, etc., then she's talking about you. Other than that, she's not calling you deplorable. But it takes too much thinking to realize that.
Clinton on the campaign trail today, Trump framed her comments in tribal populist terms, pitting his opponent against, quote, working Americans.
Hillary Clinton spoke with hatred and derision for the people who make this country run. She spoke with contempt for the people who thanklessly follow the rules, pay their taxes, and scratch out a living for their family. The disdain that Hillary Clinton expressed toward millions of decent Americans disqualifies her from public service. If Hillary Clinton will not retract her comments in full, I don't see how she can credibly campaign any further.
Fuck no, I wouldn't detract those comments. I would just apologize for the half and drop down to the some or quite a few.
For its part, the Clinton campaign seems eager to fight this battle, which expands on the candidate's speech a few weeks ago, connecting the Republican nominee to white nationalists and the so-called self-anointed alt-right. In a statement released over the weekend, Clinton stood by the core of her deplorables comment. Last night I was grossly journalistic. That's never a good idea. I regret saying half. I was wrong. Let's be clear. What's really deplorable is that Donald Trump hired a major advocate for the so-called alt-right movement to run his campaign. David Duke and other white supremacists see him as champion of their values. And speaking of David Duke, former KKK leader, proudly tweeted a meme of the deplorables, a movie poster with the subtitle, "Anti-racist is a code word for anti-white." Duke himself is there as part of Trump's supporting cast. Trump ally and friend Roger Stone tweeted a similar image, calling himself so proud to be one of the deplorables. There's Stone all the way on the left. Over on the other side, Stone's friend and fellow conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, who believes 9/11 was an inside job. We should note this image was tweeted on September 10th. And that cartoon character next to Trump started out several years ago as a random, obscure internet meme known as Pepe the Frog. It has since been at least partially co-opted by white supremacists and neo-Nazis for use in all kinds of racist and anti-Semitic garbage, including this tweet telling political scientist Daniel Nickanian he's, quote, heading for the oven. That same meme, the one with Roger Stone and Alex Jones, the Nazi frog, was posted to Instagram by Donald Trump Jr., a close advisor at his father's campaign. Joining me now, Trump campaign senior advisor AJ Delgado, who I do not consider in any way deplorable. All right, can we look at this Mike Pence sound? This is making a lot of news right now. This is Mike Pence being asked if he thinks David Duke is deplorable. Take a listen.
She said, there are supporters, and you know this, there are some supporters of Donald Trump and Mike Pence who, like David Duke, for example, and some other white nationalists, who would fit into that category of deplorables, right?
Well, as I've told you last time I was on, I'm not really sure why the media keeps dropping David Duke's name. Donald Trump has
They're dropping David Duke's name because he is claiming that he supports you guys, and he's a racist. He's a white supremacist. That's why they're dropping his name.
That's David Duke repeatedly. We don't want his support, and we don't want the support of people who think.
So you call him a deplorable. You would call him.
No, I don't. I'm not in the name-calling business, Wolf. You know me better than that. What Hillary Clinton did Friday night was shocking.
Bullshit. If racists are deplorable, which you could probably, Wolf, you could probably get him to say that racists are deplorable, and David Duke is a racist, David Duke therefore must be deplorable. It's just a simple idiom.
Why can't you call David Duke deplorable?
Well, he did one better. He denounced him and said he doesn't want his support. This has been repeatedly said, but I'll tell you why he hesitated to use Hillary's term. It's a media trick, and what Wolf wanted to happen was this, for him to say, well, Hillary said that Donald Trump supporters are deplorable. Is David Duke not a Donald Trump supporter? Hence, wasn't Hillary Clinton right? It's a trick, and this is why no one like...
Bullshit. See, now she's trying to twist it. David Duke is deplorable. That is a given. But you can't say he's deplorable because you believe it fits into the Clinton narrative, which, by the way, it does.
The media press, it's a trick.
Wait a second, though, but it's more than a trick, right? Because there's a deep sense in which, look, let's agree, you and I, that the half is wrong, right? She said it's wrong, right?
How generous
yes.
of you.
Well, look, I think it's probably even these sort of generalizations are probably not so
right.
But there are people. I mean, Alex Jones. This guy believes 9/11's inside job. That there were child actors that faked their own death in Newtown. Like Donald Trump went on his show and said, "You have a good reputation." Like he is supporting Donald Trump. Like that's a deplorable person.
In the Hillary Clinton camp.
You cannot.
Bullshit. If you can, pull him out. We're waiting to see him. I'd love to see him. There's no way you're going to find crazy ass guys like Alex Jones in the Clinton camp, okay? So that's just a given. So now she's sprouting bullshit again.
Deplorable,
Alex Jones?
And why is it you're only fixating on the half that she called deplorable? And why don't you admit that she insulted all Trump supporters? So she said half are deplorable trash, hang on, and the other half are in a dead end, desperate, worse, I'm being nice, in a dead end, desperate, jobless existence. That's the other half. So I'm either a bigot or I'm a dead end loser. That's what she said about all Trump supporters.
I'll go to the other half in a second.
She's disqualified herself.
I want to ask you this. I want to go to the...
She didn't call them dead-end losers. She said that they were desperate for change. I might have added the for change part, I'm not sure. But she said that they were desperate, okay, because their lives were like half-assed in the toilet. That portion of it is true. So if you want to throw the two together, yeah, you could say that she insulted all of the Trump supporters. Let's just be real about it.
They're half in a second. Half of Trump supporters view African Americans as more violent than whites.
I'm going to believe that poll. Okay.
Okay, but let's say the polling's right. I mean, it is not the Trump campaign's position.
You should mention. I've seen
Clinton is 31%.
Excited. You should mention.
See, this is where they pick and choose the polls that they want. That's a Reuters poll. They are a legitimate organization, and they don't have a dog in this fight. But obviously, it's saying something negative about Trump, so they're not going to accept it. Now, if Reuters came out and said Trump was winning a race, they'd love that poll. They would run to the bank with that particular poll.
How they say, oh, well, some Trump supporters don't believe Obama was born here. Like Clinton supporters, who are the ones who started the birther controversy.
See, and now that's bullshit. The Clinton supporters did not start that damn rumor. See, and the Trump people always like to run with that bullshit. There was a Clinton supporter who ran with that rumor, and that was a lady out of the Texas delegation. But that was after Clinton lost to Obama and came out and supported him. But the rumor started before then, and I believe Chris did it. As a matter of fact, he's going to tell you, he did a story on the actual guy who started it, and it was started on the Sean Hannity show.
So we can do this all day.
Wait, no, but this is a real question, right? This viewing African Americans.
By the way, you don't admit that the Clinton supporters are the ones that started the controversy.
Also the polling.
This is fact.
No, Andy Martin actually started. I wrote a piece about this.
This is fact. Okay.
Wait a
Look
second.
up Ben Smith's report.
Andy Martin started the birther thing. who's a very weird guy. He was a guest on Sean Hannity's show.
Nope.
But here's the thing. This view, I just want to establish a few things here. The view that blacks are more violent than whites, we agree is a racist view.
Absolutely unsupportable. We reject that 100%.
You reject that?
That is why we
But that is problematic.
do not want the support of David Duke.
Wait, you don't want the
See, now she just pivoted back to David Duke and away from this poll where Trump supporters believe that African Americans are more violent than whites, and that was the same Reuters poll. She automatically is trying to relate this to David Duke. Nope, doesn't work. But, Chris is a nice guy, so he doesn't really call her on it.
Language, can I say it in Spanish? In what language can we say we denounce, we do not want David Duke's support?
But wait a second. But you said that is a deplorable view, right? That's a bad view. That blacks are more violent than whites. 49% of Trump supporters believe that. That's a problem.
I'm going to believe a random poll that we don't know how it was phrased, what was asked of who. Were those really Trump supporters? I'm not going to believe
you don't believe
a poll.
Okay. How?
There she goes again. They don't believe any poll that criticizes Trump.
Can we talk about the Muslim ban?
Sure.
Okay. So the Muslim ban, right?
Yes.
Again, she used the term Islamophobic. Donald Trump today said that's insulting, right? But you would agree. I'm not going to cite a poll, right? A majority of Trump supporters support the Muslim ban. That's part of what.
I reject the notion that you call it a Muslim ban.
Okay, so now Trump came out and said banning all Muslims until we can figure out what the hell's going on. He has subsequently changed to all regions where there's a problem with terrorism, okay? But his original statement was exactly that, banning all Muslims. That was racist.
What do you mean by that?
He said we need to ban all Muslims until we can figure out what's going on. Those are his words.
No, the current plan is to...
No, he was talking about what he originally said. Now that he's pivoted somewhat, and even his pivot sucks, which Chris is going to get her on the pivot.
Limit immigration from nations where there is a terrorism issue or a connection.
Right, but
that was not...
Wait a second, does France count?
There was... Well... We can go into
Israel.
That's a security issue. That's not for you or I. We're not.
Oh, that's bullshit, because we know that there are terrorists all throughout Israel. There's plenty of terrorists there. They're always getting attacked. France is a no-brainer with all the terrorist attacks in France. Then you got Belgium, where you got a ton of those guys are coming from. You got Germany, there were terrorist attacks there. And hell, you'd have to ban the United States because we've had terrorist attacks here. So now she's trying to muddy the waters here and saying, well, we'd have to look at that. That's bullshit.
Experts to decide what nations would have to take a closer vetting position.
He called for a Muslim ban, and when it was the Muslim ban, right? So before it developed, right? When it was the Muslim ban,
not unconstitutional,
he was still getting a majority of support for that view.
And
is that not a bigoted view that all Muslims shouldn't come to the U.S.?
Not necessarily. No.
Oh, not necessarily. This bitch is crazy.
Oh, no, when you're saying
not the definition of Islamophobic?
when you are saying no, it depends on the motive behind it. When you're saying it's a temporary pause until we figure out what's happening with terrorism in this country, until we have a better vetting process, a temporary pause, you're saying his motives were bigoted. You're saying his motives are bigoted, that it wasn't a security issue.
Yes, I think that any generalization about 1 billion people barring from the country.
That's your opinion, though.
Wait,
you can't say that's
wait a second, let me ask you this. If he had said no...
By the way, I love that you're turning the fact that Hillary Clinton has insulted, 100 million Americans?
It's not 100 million!
See, and there she goes. See, and there they go with that overinflation. She throws out 100 million Americans. Hillary Clinton did not insult 100 million Americans. At the max, okay? At the max, she insulted the 14 million people or so that voted for him. That's not even close to 100 million people.
It's not 100 million.
This has turned into a debate, taking it back to November 2015 about the Muslim ban, because you don't want to admit that Hillary Clinton has disqualified herself. She's disqualified herself.
I don't believe that anything.
You don't think insulting half the nation should disqualify you from...
You don't believe insulting half the nation. Half the nation is not going for Trump.
It's not half the nation.
She tweeted this herself,
It's not half the
Chris.
nation.
Chris, 3 weeks ago, she said,
also
if
took
you
back half.
can't respect
Wait, let me
the
ask you
country,
this.
how can you serve the country? She's disqualified.
Donald Trump
I
has
agree
called
with
the
her.
See, and that's the funny thing. Donald Trump took back his original ban on all Muslims and modified it. And as far as she's concerned, that was okay. But when Clinton turned around and said half, and then took that back, now they're not going to allow her to take that back. See, it's a double standard.
She's out.
Let me ask you this. Is there anything, Donald Trump has said she should apologize for this remark, right? Mm-hmm. Is there anything Donald Trump has said that he should apologize for?
Nope.
He did express that there are some things he regrets. Yes.
But nothing that he's willing to apologize for.
You know what those are?
Did he ever insult half the country?
Let me ask you this.
Did he ever insult half the country?
He called the American people stupid. He called the people of Iowa stupid.
Really?
He's insulted Mexicans and Muslims.
He never did.
POWs.
A lie. Oh.
See, that's why you can't debate a fool, okay? And trying to debate a Trump surrogate is like trying to piss on a forest fire and hoping that you're going to put it out. It just don't work.
It's good to have you in person here, AJ. I'll see you soon.
Love you, Chris. All right.
Full of crap, this broad.